Welcome, everyone. It's Chief Yuya. Let's just jump right into it for a moment. I just want to share a very quick clip of something, and a very sad clip. And we're living in a time now where, of course, there's so much topsy-turvy activity in terms of how men and women, or males and females, are unhitching themselves from certain responsibilities that are inherent in not only what we would consider to be their adulthood, but their community responsibilities. And we live in a time now where females are demanding a lot of rights, and from a very immature place, are kind of making up this entire narrative in this feminist idea of what is owed to them, and kind of removing a certain morality around what karmic responsibility should be on their parts. Not all females, and of course, I don't need to address that. I mean, those of you who can pick up on context cues understand that I'm speaking about certain groups and certain ones. And the really sad thing about it is that it's creating a lot of situations, and I see this coming more and more to a head, because you have large groups of males who have not only grown entirely frustrated with the rhetoric and the narrative, but who have grown frustrated and who are kind of copping out of an environment, a political environment, where feminism is backed by the state. And there's many men who are just really, really tired of it, want nothing to do with it at this point, and a lot of the protective boundaries that some females imagine that they have around them are just no longer present. If they ever really truly were, and there's a very sad situation that happened with a woman by the name of Jane Warfield, and I'm going to share a little information about her. And then I will share a video clip. Some of you may be familiar with it. Some of you may have seen it. But there was just a recent memorial for her. She was killed. But I'll read an article. And this article is from WISHTV.com. And, the woman was out of Indianapolis. And it says, Metro Police have identified the woman who died after a crash in a shooting on the city's northwest side Tuesday morning. Authorities say Jane Warfield, 40 years old, died as a result of her injuries. The coroner's office has not yet released her cause of death. According to the Indianapolis Metropolitan Police Department, officers were called to the area of West 30th Street and Lafayette Road just after 9:30 a.m. for a report of a person shot. Police said Warfield was shot at some point, which then led to the crash. A male driver in the other vehicle was also taken to the hospital in serious condition. Family and friends gathered to release balloons and light candles in her memory Wednesday night. Over the last 24 hours, they've been grieving and looking for answers. Police haven't named a suspect or a motive, but said the shooting was targeted. Since Warfield's death, social media speculation has focused on a video Warfield posted to Facebook just 20 hours before her death. In the video, she said someone was threatening her life. Authorities have been asked directly if social media played a role in Warfield's killing, but they have not commented on the suggestion. A vigil for Warfield was held to start at 19th and Lafayette around 6:30 Wednesday night. Now, that was from that particular news station. And then you also had the LGBTQ Nation, which is another site, and they had a headline that read, "Woman outed a gay man who didn't pay her $5,000 to keep quiet. She was murdered hours later." After posting a Facebook Live video in which she threatened to out a man if he didn't pay her $5,000, 40-year-old Indianapolis woman Jane Warfield was shot and killed. According to Wish TV, it remains unclear whether the video is connected to Warfield's death, though police do believe it was a targeted shooting. In a 17-minute video, Warfield said she walked in on a man she had sex with a long time ago when he was having sex with another man. She said she entered his apartment looking for her phone. She felt horrified and repulsed. I feel disgusted, she said in the video. I have been sick all day. Warfield says she threatened to out the men if they didn't pay her $5,000. If you don't pay me some money, this is quote unquote, if you don't pay me some money, I'm effing telling everybody. She said, oh, y'all don't want to pay? BITCH, I let you give me some head, and you were effing NIGGERS in the ASS. She also referred to what they were doing as hitting the fudge out the back. Warfield said that she was then chased out of the apartment by the men. I've never seen that SHIT with my own two eyes, but today I've been scarred for life today. I'm trying to move forward today. I've been traumatized. Later in the video, she said, today was your day today was your day to get exposed, referring to the closeted gay men she walked in on. She compared herself to Moses when it comes to exposing truth. They tried to kill me, she said, so if anything happens to me, y'all know they tried to kill me. CBS 4 reported that Warfield was shot Tuesday morning near the intersection of West 30th Street and Lafayette Road in Indianapolis. Police believe that the shooting is what caused her to crash into another car. Two other victim vehicles were involved in the crash. Warfield was the only fatality, though another victim was taken to the hospital in serious condition. The coroner has not yet reported whether Warfield died due to gunshot wounds or injuries from the crash. If something happens to me or something like that, she said at the end of the Facebook Live video, at least you guys know the truth, okay? Because he's quite upset about the change of events that has occurred at this point. Her death is the city's 34th homicide of 2020. Warfield was a mother of two daughters. Wish TV reported that friends and family released balloons in her honor on Wednesday. I just want to say I'm going to miss her so much. I love her so much. I love her so much. It's messed up. She had to go like this, her niece China Chestnut said. So, we talk about the responsibilities again, and we live in a society where people are taking some very dangerous steps. And you'll see when you look at the video, she was very firm and resolute in her plan and in her idea to kind of what we would call cyberbully and extort. I mean, this was just straight up extortion. Extort these two individuals, and then even went forward as to create a live video and to speak about the incident. And we're living in a time where things are topsy-turvy and people are this new wave of very militant style feminism, but it's like paper tigers. It's very aggressive and it's very militant, but at the same time, it's delusional because there's this idea, even sometimes it transcends to the physical. When people start to absorb so much entertainment, that's what I spoke about in a recent video, how the entertainment industry really begins to create certain illusions in people's minds. They think they can stand in front of people who they really can't, or, especially in a social media environment where there's a lot of cyber bullying, there's a lot of absurd behavior that's never really checked because there's a certain level of anonymity there. Or sometimes even with that kind of behavior, people kind of, they can slide things under the carpet. And when people are witnessing the bullying, they may not totally have context. So they might not even realize that there's bullying actually happening, and they could be liking and sharing and things like that. And I think this is just such a sad situation. This individual had children, and, she was someone's daughter and someone's niece and someone's auntie and whomever. And she has, friends and family who miss her because there was this assertion that she had that she could get away with something, the love of money, of course, but also thinking that she could create this situation where she could remove the dignity from males, whether they're engaged in a dissexual lifestyle or not. There's still some testosterone in there, and if there's any bit of fighter inside of that male, it's hard for some people to imagine that most people are not just going to let you. Most males are not going to let you just sit there and keep beating up on them, and there be no recourse whatsoever. And it's so sad when we're living in a time and we're living in a space where there's a certain intersection between the experience of women and what they're chatting about and what they're experiencing in a digital and a cyberspace, and it kind of creates this idea of just a lot of like I said, illusion, where they start to lose their instincts, even for survival, what makes sense and what doesn't really make sense to actually do. And it's because, again, there's so much backing of stupidity. There's so much backing of buffoonery. There's so much backing of just evilness, and sometimes, it's that sickness of sisterhood, and one day I'll speak to that, but there's this kind of this intersection, between feminism and sick sisterhood. And sometimes as a result of that sick sisterhood, there's really no correcting or checking, where people say, you know what, maybe you need to stop. Maybe this is not a smart thing to do. And then there's a lot of ego involved. I wish you would try, you'll see even in the video, there was some of that coming from her, without realizing you're dealing with males here who have made it clear that this is not something they necessarily want people to know. What people do and behind closed doors is their business. And even if you did have some type of engagement with this individual, you admitted it was a long time ago. It's not now. And regardless of what they're doing right now is not your business. And what's sad is a lot of times there's collective support of people who are living certain sexual lifestyles. But then at the same time, when it's time to insult someone or to shame them, you use that same lifestyle, or you use derogatory terms from that lifestyle to disrespect and insult the person, while at the same time saying, well, people can do what they do. I got a lot of friends who do that, So there's a certain level of unrealized insanity that's going on in that sense. And there are people who are engaging in certain things for attention, and it's very convenient for them to get attention in that way. And sometimes it doesn't work out. And like I said, this is very sad. It's a very sad series of events that someone would write a check with their mouth that they couldn't cash with their ass. And when karma came back to them, this is when now everybody's lighting balloons and lighting candles and things like that. But what do you expect to happen? You can't bully everybody. You can't keep stabbing and hitting everybody. At some point, there's going to be a response, and again, you have to be able to respect the nature of people. Ultimately, it's kind of best just to leave people alone. Like I say, you never really know what a person may be going through, or even someone who's living a lifestyle like that, how marginalized they may feel at certain times, and how they may choose to want to regain their voicing. And again, we don't have proof that it came from those individuals, who she caught in that home. And, sometimes, again, people don't realize who they're playing with. There's things that can happen to you, and it can bring destruction on a lot of different levels, and you may not be ready at the level, to self-protect. Those terms of self-protection that you think you may have, it may not cover all the levels that a person may be willing to come back at you at. The way that your assault, how it may return to you, your insult, how it may return to you. She was trying to extort these individuals for $5,000. Well, $5,000 can get a lot of things done in certain neighborhoods, and it's just not wise. So you think you're being protected by people on social media. And the truth is, a lot of times people on social media, they just really enjoy the sensationalism of things. They don't really care about the truth of what's really happening, or the righteousness, or if someone is actually being abused by another person digitally. They don't care. They just like the drama. So you're going online saying, well, yeah, y'all, if something happens to me, y'all know, as if these people really care about you. You get angry or you get upset or something happens, your first response is to go to a social media environment which says a lot, again, about your the hedge that you may have around you. And sometimes you may not be aware of what people have around them. So you begin to kind of play with fire, and you may not realize that, not everyone is completely tethered to social media. Not everyone is going to respond to you in that way. And you're enticing people to release their demons on you. So sometimes it's good to be prudent, and sometimes it's good to be cautious, about some of the things that you say, even if it's self-criticism online. Even sometimes you may end up bullying yourself and not really seeing that, but a lot of times people will they'll try to create this kind of enfeebled victim role online, and then use that as a vehicle to begin to bully people. And again, not really respecting or understanding that, some people don't have time for your games. So she was killed hours later, after she's telling these people, you better give me $5,000 or I'm going to tell everybody. But meanwhile, you go online and you don't mention names, but you tell the whole story anyway. So at what point does the person say, you're dangerous? And like I said, it's a very sad thing where we live in a society where backward things like that can happen. You have chihuahuas barking in the face of pit bulls and feeling safe. You got two males here, whatever they're engaged in, intimately, there's still two males. And you're barking in their face like you can do something to them, and they know how they can just silence you. I'm going to tell everybody. Really? It's almost like when you watch the movies and something happens and someone gets caught and a person says, you know what, I'm going to go tell the board, and then I'm going to the papers, then I'm going straight to the police. And you're watching and you're saying, okay, well, basically what happens next is now, you won't be in the next scene of the movie. This is it for you. This is where your role, ends. And of course, those things can happen in real life. And the arguments from what we would call, quote unquote, strong women, unfortunately, the arguments that are applauded a lot of times are very delusional, because we live in, again, a generation where personal responsibility is removed. And this kind of soap opera of female victimization and male oppression is just total BS. Total BS. A lot of cyberbullies are adult females. And you can look up those statistics. It will surprise you, because a lot of times when they speak to you about cyberbullying, they speak to you about teenagers. That's always the assumption. When you use the word bully, you think you're talking about children, but a lot of times it's adult females. Even some over the ages, I think it's like 6% over the age of 65 engage in cyberbullying, because a lot of times they're bullying celebrities. You see, so it's not always just, it's somebody on their job or somebody who looked at them funny at their retirement party, and now they're online, throwing shade, but it may be an actual celebrity that they're going in on. But even celebrities are affected by this. I remember when Idris Elba shut down his social media because he was like, it's depressing. The comments, the way people come at you. And several others have done the same thing without realizing that, you are talking to humans, and there may be a response. And when you live in this world of social media, and there seems to be no consequences for what you do, you might not ever imagine what you're exposing yourself and your loved ones to. This individual had two daughters, according to this article. What if they were in the car? You see, all because she wants $5,000 because she wants to get on live and say something and kind of vomit all over her phone, if you will, and then at the same time make a little profit, and then feel some level of dominance over individuals who know at the end of the day, you don't have anything over me. And we didn't get a video from them. They didn't have to go on social media and say, this such and such just came into the house and she's talking about it. No, they were quiet. So no, we know how we're going to handle this. Quiet. Police still don't know who they were, who did it. Quiet. So like I said, it's just really a sad thing. When I first saw that video a while ago, I said, this is horrible. What people are putting out there and what's coming back, and there's no kind of mind of a prevention strategy. And then there's so much, people put online, and most people don't look at, unfortunately, a lot of these things with any kind of real critical thinking. There's people can say things with no empirical evidence, and people just get excited because of the drama of it. Again, the sensationalism of it all, and then things can end up happening. We don't even know if what she was saying was true. She could have made up the story. We don't even know. But now she's not here. So I just say that, for anyone listening, just be careful. Sometimes the danger you may put yourself in, not even just via social media, but like I said, sometimes we live in a society where, of course, things are backwards when you can have someone who is weaker bark and shout in the face of someone who's stronger and feel safe, because they say, well, you ain't gonna do nothing to me. They got 911 on speed dial, and may not realize that, there's some people who are not afraid of that. There's some people who their pride is more important than this cubbyhole that you're feeling that you may be safe inside of. And people are losing lives, not to mention the countless amount of people, children, young people who have committed suicide behind stuff like this, being outed or being told that they had, there was a young girl in 2013 who, they said, oh, you had sex with this guy, and then she got hit with a barrage of all these text messages of these guys making fun of her and people asking her for sex, and the little girl went and killed herself. So discovering a lot of this stuff can be painful for people, but people respond to their pain in different ways, and healthier people don't typically take it to social media. They're going to do something that's going to make them feel better. So like I said, it's just a horrible and a sad thing, and I hope that you can successfully navigate yourself through these environments and recognize the value of respecting people, respecting what people are, who they are, and recognizing that this whole social media thing is really here to distract you, to take up a lot of time, to cause a lot of depression in you. There's a whole lot of things that we can get into. And I'm not saying it to turn anyone into a fearsome kind of creature and, oh, I'm careful. But yeah, you should kind of be cautious. You should be prudent about what you say, because you never really know how it may affect people, or sometimes even what you may co-sign. Sometimes you may be a part of cyberbullying and don't even know, because you don't know the context of what somebody's saying, you see, which could only create a worse situation for them or maybe yourself. So, we're just in a time now where things are flipped upside down, and don't get involved in this stuff. Don't get involved in this sick kind of thinking, because as things further crash, as this system further crashes in America, you're going to see more men rise up saying, you know what, I don't care. You're going to see more ruggedness rise up, where we're coming to a point where these systems are no longer going to support those who they no longer need. The welfare queen is no longer going to be supported. Her time is running out. The militant feminist, her time is running out. You see, anyone who doesn't really bring any real practical values to the space or to society, their time is running out. And they're no longer going to receive the protection. And the warnings have come. They've been coming over the years. I mean, police been, beating up women, locking up women, macing women, letting them know, like, okay, we don't need you as much as we used to. And the same thing has happened to melanin rich people. We don't need you guys as much as we're no longer in an industrial society. We are now an information-based society. So we don't need you like we used to. We don't need you to work in factories or on fields and things like that. We've outsourced a lot of what we do to other countries. So we're going to show you how much we don't need you by shooting you down wholesale. You see, so you got to be able to recognize the sign of the times. Recognize the sign of the times, and don't get caught up in the nonsense like this female did. I'm going to play the clip now on my way out, and I just say to you all, just be wise in your communication, and recognize that there are traps all around you, and don't get caught up in them. All right? Be well and be safe, everyone. All right, this is Chief Yuya signing out. Peace.
Birds! I see the whole gay bird in front of my whole 2 eyes. Two eyes! I had to come here and tell them about it. Listen. Happened earlier today. Hold on. This nigga, y'all, that... Hold on, let me wait for some more people to get on here. Because y'all got to hear this story, because this is a good story. We hear a lot of shit, but we don't never really get to see that shit. Because these niggas, they hiding. Listen, y'all, they're hiding behind the covers in the sheets around this bitch. The covers in the sheets. You feel me? The covers in the sheets. Hiding. They're hiding. So, I have been, discussing some shit with this nigga. We were doing some business, me and this dude. Now, I'm going to tell you, he did give me some head way back a long time ago. Long time ago, a couple of years ago, like before I started fucking with Fran or something, he wasn't even there. It was it was about 2 years, was it 2 years ago? About 2 years ago. I think when I first was on Orchard, he gave me some head. That's when it was, Okay, so when I was on Orchard, nigga gave me some head, right? Never really talked to him like that. I had the old man. I had a lot of other shit going on, so I never talked to the nigga like that. Listen. So, I was doing some business with this nigga, right? Hold on. I had to run in there and still take my phone and run out. They chased me out the house. Hold on. Pants hanging and everything. Hold on. Screaming, Hallville. I said, fuck Hallville. I don't give a fuck. You niggas better give me some money. I'm fucking telling everybody. You niggas got some money? We Hallville. Ain't nobody. Fuck Hallville. Hallville gonna have to pay. Because if not, it's a story to be told. Oh, y'all don't want to pay? Bitch, I'll let you give me some head and you out here fucking niggas in their ass? Oh, no. This shit's not gonna fly. No, it's not. And I feel disgusted. I've been sick all day. Thinking about how I let you suck on my motherfucking pussy. And you're over there hitting the fudge out the back of niggas. I can't stomach it. But they say you Far East Side niggas been doing that shit. I ain't never seen that shit. Listen, I never seen that shit with my own 2 eyes. But today, I've been scorned for life. But today, I'm trying to move forward. Today, I've been traumatized. You niggas out here traumatizing bitches. Pull down on this nigga. Hold on. I grabbed what I came to get or whatever. He's like, come on over here to my uncle's house or whatever. Boom. Familiar with your uncle's house. Had been over there before once or twice or something like that. You know what I mean? So I had grabbed whatever, but I'm in a rush because I got to get back to the shop or whatever, or whatnot. So, boom. I'm riding down the street. I done got the nigga being Speedway, right? I'm damn near to the tire shops on 16th Street. I'm like, fuck. I don't have my phone. So I start calling my phone, and I start calling his phone, and when nobody answering on my shop phone, I got a little flip. This is my shop phone, right? So, girl, yeah. So I'm on my little shop flip phone, and I'm like, boom, calling my cell phone, calling this phone. Ain't want nobody answer. So I'm like, damn. So now I done got back over there. I done parked right up by the front door, though, thank God, because they chased me out of there. They was trying to kill me. Y'all, they tried to kill me. So anything happened to me, y'all know they tried to kill me today. Them niggas. And then when I got in the car, I started talking shit. If anybody knows me, that's how I get down. As soon as I get to the car, when I get close to my pistol, I'm really talking shit now. So wait a minute. So look, I'm in here. Hold on. I'm banging on the door. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. So I'm knocking on this motherfucking door. I'm like, I need my fucking phone. That's my money bag. I'm like hitting this motherfucking door. And I'm like, won't nobody come to the fucking door, right? I'm like, damn. Something told me to check the door. That motherfucker was unlocked. When I stepped in there, y'all. Oh my God. My stomach hurts. When I walked in there, y'all, what I seen with my own 2 eyes. Hold on. Thank God my phone was sitting on the table right there by the door. I swung that door, but I said, oh! And I couldn't even talk the words. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth, right? So I'm like, I'm trying to breathe. I'm like, and I just looked down and see my phone. I snatched my phone. They was standing there just staring at me. So them motherfuckers was looking like the devil. They was looking like they was trying to kill me. So I just grabbed my phone. I was like, so I jump in, start running. I done jump back in my car. Remember I told you I parked up by the door, right? So I get in my fucking car. And as I'm backing down, I'm like, hey, you motherfuckers, y'all better come up out some money. Y'all be talking that big money and shit. Give me a couple of bands or something now. Cause this right here, this is unacceptable. I'm out the window like, you motherfuckers is trifling. And you bitches think y'all ain't gonna get me. So wait. Dude said, come on back. I said, nah, you on bullshit. I was like, motherfucker, send it. Cash at me, motherfucker. I said, if you don't cash at me in the next hour, I'm telling the whole goddamn city what the fuck's going on. I told him just cash at me 5 bands. That's all. Shit, you in a $50,000 truck. I can't get 5 bands. I can't get 5 bands. So I was just like, cash at me 5 bands. That's it. And I ain't gonna sell a soul. You know, it won't be nothing on nothing. Huh. That motherfucker, look, I called his phone. He kept saying, bitch, I'm Howville. Bitch, ain't nobody gonna go against. I said, who the fuck is Howville? Don't nobody give a fuck about Howville. Who the fuck? Does anybody know what the fuck is, what the Howville was? I was just sitting over there. I got a bag at Howville. I sat in you bitches' faces and made a bag. What are you talking about? Enough to get me to my next location. So fuck a Howville. Who are y'all? Howville, who is it? Anybody left? Who is this nigga? And so, hold on. I gave this nigga ample opportunity. I even gave him an extra hour to come up with the money. I was like, listen, just run me the bag and I'll just try to forget. But at the same time, nigga, you could have let me know you was getting down like it. He said, bitch, I ain't got to tell you shit, bitch. I don't owe you no explanations, bitch. He's talking like a G, though. This nigga talking like he on gin, though. This nigga is talking like he's on gin, though, okay? I'm telling you, he's talking like a G. I said, boy, they told me they was doing it out east, but I didn't know y'all was doing it out west like this. I believed out east. I done heard about out east. I heard about you niggas out east getting nasty than a bitch about a bag. Y'all niggas, out east, them niggas getting 20, 30 off white men, I heard. I don't know. But what I am going to say is, Jamal, you got the right bitch today. Because I take it personal because you gave me, you administrated hit on me before. So now I got to go, well, I stay in the hospital, so you know what I mean? I probably would have known if something would have happened to me behind this shit. But at the same time, you're not safe. You're not safe. You know, it's been a long time really since I touched you like that or whatever. But motherfuckers ain't safe out here, y'all. It's definitely not safe. They're sick, they're nasty, and they're just out here to get bitches. And they're out here, man, that shit is real. That shit y'all see in ATL, that shit is so fucking real. And it's starting to come down. It's tumbling down to our city. They're taking over. Everybody needs to check their nigga out straight up, because these niggas are playing like they this and that and got the keys to the city and all this and that. And they under the sheets and the covers. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I've been super traumatized today about some niggas once again, because I had to witness some shit that I didn't come to see or nothing like that. And I don't appreciate it either. Because you know what? If you get down like that, nigga, you need to let motherfuckers know. You don't just do that kind of shit and just think it's okay. And then you was looking at me like you was going to do something to me. Bitch, I'm out of here. Yeah, bitch. I would have let him go right out my little car, honey. I don't move without my pistol. Never, bitch. Should have went to the door with that motherfucker. Good thing I didn't. Then pop one of them niggas. Hey, all I'm saying is, guys, you females don't make it no better. Y'all keep accepting these niggas back. and they just nasty and they just do what the fuck ever they want to do and stuff. And now they just getting wild. I guess they just tired of us bitches. Now they fucking each other and shit. The shit's getting wild. All I'm saying is be safe. Boat up. Boat up on your dude. Boat up. I'm telling you, boat up on these niggas because ain't no telling what's going on. I done seen this shit right here. I'm everybody suspect. After this right here, all you niggas is suspect until I determine otherwise. All you niggas on the list. All you niggas. I'm cool. I should have known. You know what, though? I'm going to tell you what the first clue was. The nigga was getting his toes done. This should have told it right here. The nigga was getting his toes done, y'all. And you know how you can change the face on live? You can change the face of the person that, you know, like you're looking at them. He was changing them into men and stuff. I understood when he was changing it to like women or characters, but when you was changing them into men, why do you have the men on your feet, baby? What are you doing here? I thought that was weird. That was the clue. See, it be clues. It be signs. And I just showed somebody that shit and was like, ain't this weird in a bitch? Why is he turning the camera into a man touching his feet? I thought that was disgusting. That was number 2 weeks ago. And then, here we go. I walked into a mess. I walked into some muddy, nasty, disgusting shit. And I'll probably never be the same. I don't know. Star. I'm gonna never be the same. Never. And these little dusty ass niggas, they gotta be stopped. They're fucking disgusting. Now I'm wondering where you got the money for this truck and shit. You're probably fucking white men downtown. You hang downtown all the goddamn time. You down there fucking them white men. What's going on out here in these streets? For the better Indianapolis, for the greater Indianapolis, you niggas need to knock that shit off. Y'all infesting our little town. We all gonna be dead. I ain't touching nothing else. I don't want no head off you niggas or nothing else. I'm cool. Y'all done show me what time it is around here. Shit, I thought we was safe. We sorry than a bitch around here. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it. But one thing for certain, 2 things for sure, that bitch will never be back on this line a day in his motherfucking life. Bitch, you should have just paid the bread. You the one walking around like you got so much motherfucking money. Nigga, well, you should have got me quiet then. 5,000, I would have thought maybe that you were sincere about being good, right? You would have ran me about 5 G's. I would have thought that, you know what I mean? I could have maybe took you seriously. And maybe, you know, I don't know, but you declined. And you thought you was going to scream that Hallville shit and thought somebody was going to give a fuck about that shit. I don't give a fuck about a Hallville. Nigga, I sat over in Hallville by myself and made a bag. Was leaving out of there with hundreds every day. What are y'all talking about? I don't give a fuck about fucking Hallville. The fuck? Dusty motherfuckers. And now y'all out here passing out shit and anything else. I don't know what y'all got going on. But what you're not going to do is never get back on my line again, you weird ass motherfucking dude. But today was your day to get exposed. Clearly today was your day. Because I'm here to tell you. I'm at the top of the mountain. I'm telling like Moses. Like I told you I was going to do. And I told you I was going to do this. Motherfucker, they chased me out the house though. Hold on. They motherfucking pants was hanging. Hold on. God, wait a minute. Listen. I've never seen such. Thank God for the people that were outside and shit and kids and shit. They had to stop at the door because they got the top of apartments. They got the little hallway. They had to stop at the door because there were kids and shit getting out of school and stuff. And people outside, thank God. But I hopped in my truck and hopped in my car and was talking hella shit. I was talking hella shit. Boy, hey, everything I wanted to say, I couldn't say at that moment. But after I got to my car, I told them motherfuckers the truth about they trifling asses and told them how fucking dare you motherfuckers. Ugh. And you kept on trying to tell me this nigga was your cousin. So was he your cousin or wasn't he? I don't know. And kept having them in your videos all the time. Just some dude I had never seen in a day in my life. And come to find out, you and this nigga sticking and moving. But I'm about to have to get out here, y'all, because I got some shit going on. But I had to just get this off of my chest. I had to just bring it to the community, because this type of shit right here, it gotta be stopped. And if something happens to me or something like that, at least you guys know the truth, okay? Because he's quite upset about the change of events that have occurred at this point. And I don't even know who the weirdo he had with him or nothing, or none of that. But all that Javier shit, I don't care about it or none of that. But the truth is the truth, and it is what it is. And next time, take my threats for real. I don't know what will make you think I won't go tell nobody. That's what I'm trying to figure out, nigga. I don't fuck with you like that, you weird ass nigga. These niggas is really crazy. I'm Holville. Okay, you're Holville. Nigga, I'm behind the fair, bitch. I'm behind the fair. You know what I mean? I used to live down the street from the Kia. Nigga, who cares? Who fucking cares? The ghetto boys was living next door to me. Who cares? The fuck? Listen. I was in Holville. Nigga, nobody give a fuck about that shit. Y'all fucking and y'all freaking in Holville. I've had enough of it. So, from here on out, y'all better check these niggas out straight up. I mean, I'm talking about take them back to the 3rd grade, talk to their principal. I'm talking about we got to really start checking these niggas out, because I would have never thought in a million years this nigga was going to come out of a bag like this today. This right here, it just killed my little heart, because you be trusting people. You do believing people. When they show you totally different from what you really thought. These niggas got on masks, y'all. They got on whole masks. Be safe out here. That's the only thing I can say is be fucking safe. Be safe. I'm disgusted, but it's gonna be all right. But if anybody needs any tires, come on out, Castleton. Tons of tires. I got them all. I got tons of them. And I'll get back with y'all.